6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Hassan Gilani. First, the headlines. Prime Minister, addressing Inter-Parliamentary Speakers Conference in Islamabad, has called upon world to stand united in promoting peace and strengthening security. Deputy Prime Minister has expressed Pakistan's determination to enhance regional connectivity for socio-economic development. The Constitution 27th Amendment Bill 2025 has been laid in the National Assembly. 12 people were martyred in a suicide blast in Islamabad today. APHC has urged world community to play its role to save Kashmiri people from Indian repression. First one-day international of three-match series between Pakistan and Sri Lanka is underway in Rawalpindi. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has called upon the world to stand united in promoting peace, advancing sustainable development, and strengthening collective security. Addressing Inter-Parliamentary Speakers Conference in Islamabad today, he expressed confidence that nations can collectively build a world anchored in lasting peace and shared prosperity. Shehbaz Sharif said Pakistan has always advocated for peace through dialogue and diplomacy. Prime Minister said Pakistan unfortunately faced unprovoked aggression from Eastern Front in the month of May. He said Pakistan's highly professional armed forces displayed remarkable preparedness and performed outstandingly on the battlefield. Prime Minister said a peaceful Afghanistan holds the key to regional connectivity, growth, progress and prosperity. He said Pakistan believes in a peaceful neighborhood and has been striving hard for this purpose. He urged Afghanistan to understand that lasting peace can only be realized by reining in TTP and other terrorist groups operating on the Afghan territory. Prime Minister also highlighted the reforms undertaken by the government to promote inclusive growth, institutional strengthening and the empowerment of youth and women. Shehbaz Sharif said Pakistan has actively engaged with international financial institutions and development partners to foster fiscal reforms, climate resilience, and investment facilitation. In his remarks on the occasion, Chairman Senate Yusuf Raza Gilani emphasized that parliaments must serve as beacons of guidance. He called for collective thought, commitment, and action, underscoring the importance of parliamentary diplomacy. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has directed to remove all obstacles hindering in the early completion of Jinnah Medical Complex at the earliest, with mutual cooperation of all the concerned institutions. He issued these directives while presiding over a meeting in Islamabad today to review the progress on the construction of Jinnah Medical Complex and Research Centre. The Prime Minister said the quality construction of Jinnah Medical Complex, equipped with all modern medical facilities, has been completed under a well-planned strategy. The Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar says Pakistan is determined to enhance regional connectivity and increase bilateral and multilateral development partnerships for socio-economic uplift. He was addressing the inaugural session of the Magla Dialogue in Islamabad today. The Deputy Prime Minister expressed the hope that the 6th Magla Dialogue will focus on many issues, including multilateralism, climate change, and the need for greater regional connectivity. Ishaq Dar said the theme of this dialogue is extremely relevant in the backdrop of the erosion of multilateral values and the increase in the unilateral bloc politics. He said Pakistan remains a firm believer in the enduring relevance and importance of multilateralism. This is Radio Pakistan. The Constitution 27th Amendment Bill 2025 has been laid in the National Assembly. It was moved by Law Minister Azam Nazir Taro. The bill has already been passed by the Senate. Sharing main features of the bill, Law Minister said the 27th Constitutional Amendment envisages the establishment of the Federal Constitutional Code. He said the federating units will be given equal representation in the Constitutional Code as per the spirit of Charter of Democracy. Islamabad High Court will also be given representation in the Federal Constitutional Court. The Federal Constitutional Court will hear cases relating to constitutional matters and interpretation of the Constitution. The permanent seat of the Federal Constitutional Court shall be in Islamabad. The Law Minister said the President may transfer a judge of a High Court from one High Court to another High Court on the recommendations of such terms and conditions as may be determined by the Judicial Commission of Pakistan. For this purpose, the Chief Justices of both High Courts shall also be members of the Judicial Commission of Pakistan. Taking the floor, Defence Minister Khaja Asif emphasized the need for strengthening the local government system to strengthen the federation. He said devolution of power, as envisaged in the 18th Constitutional Amendment, is important for promotion of democracy. Minister for National Health Services Mustafa Kamal also raised voice for the empowerment of the local government system. At least 12 people were killed and 27 others injured in a suicide blast outside the Islamabad courts in G11 sector today. Interior Minister Mohsen Naqvi also visited the blast site shortly after the incident, confirmed the casualties, and said emergency operations were underway to assist the injured. He said the attacker initially planned to enter the court complex but could not due to strict security checks, and when a police vehicle arrived, he targeted it. The minister said efforts were underway to identify the attacker, vowing results within hours. Talking about the yesterday's incident in Vana, he said the vehicle-borne suicide attacker carried out the blast at the entry point of the cadet college. The Interior Minister said the attacker in Vana has been identified as Afghan national. He said Afghanistan is found directly involved in the incident due to the communication of perpetrators that was carried out with people in Afghanistan. Mohsen Naqvi said Pakistan has provided complete proof of the attacks and perpetrators as well, but Afghan authorities have not taken any measures. He said Pakistan is justified to take appropriate measures and stop the attacks in every way possible. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif have strongly condemned the suicide blast by the Indian-backed Fitna al-Khawarij and Fitna al-Hindustan near the Islamabad District Judicial Complex. In their separate statements, they expressed their heartfelt sympathies and condolences to the families of the deceased and prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured. The President, in his statement, said terrorist elements are enemies of Pakistan's peace and stability. He said it is imperative to completely eliminate the terrorists who are operating in Pakistan with external backing. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, in his statement, said terrorist attacks on the unarmed citizens of Pakistan by Indian terrorist proxies are condemnable. He directed for an investigation into the incident and expressed the resolve that all those responsible will be brought to justice. The All-Party Hurriyat Conference has said that the Indian BJP government and its installed Lieutenant Governor-led regime have waged a war on the unarmed people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. APHC spokesperson Advocate Abdul Rashid Minhas, in a statement issued in Srinagar, said that India's inhuman, brutal and immoral tactics in the past had failed to suppress the Kashmiris' righteous struggle for self-determination and would meet the same fate in the future. APHC urged the world community to play its role in resolving the Kashmir dispute at the earliest to save the Kashmiri people from Indian repression. In the first one-day international of three-match series against Sri Lanka in Rawalpindi, Pakistan were 240 for the loss of 5 wickets in 44 overs a short while ago. Earlier, Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to field. And finally, the weather. Dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while cold with very cold conditions in upper areas during the next 12 hours. Smog, while shallow fog in patches during morning and night may develop over few plain areas of Punjab. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.